Welcome back to one more session. Today in this video I am going to explain about the consumer movement with respect to international sphere as well as consumer movements in India. Before going to that, I want to start this session with a statement of Mahatma Gandhi. That is, a consumer is the most important visitor on our premises. He is not dependent on us. We are on him. He is not an interruption to our work. He is the purpose of it. We are not doing a favor to a consumer by giving him an opportunity. He is doing us a favor by giving us opportunity to serve him. This was the statement which was given by Mahatma Gandhi. Coming to our topic, the term consumer protection has undergone several changes with growing consumer protection, nothing but consumerism. Several changes with growing consumerism and modification of the common law, that is a doctrine of caveat emptor, that is, let the buyer beware, which permits the seller not to shoulder his liability as it shifts the whole of responsibility on the buyer. However, the consumer movement in India is still far behind in comparison with advanced countries like Japan, USA, UK, and Germany, etc. During the first half of the 20th century, the development of consumer welfare societies mushroomed. Although the enactments of some protective laws for the benefit and protection of consumer in the old times cannot be denied, the growing socio-economic culture push helpless consumers to become easy target of exploitation by unscrupulous traders and manufacturers. Hence, the movement for the consumer rights commences in every sphere of the world. The consumer rights started in USA in 1927 and subsequently leading to formation of the Union of Consumer of United States of America in 1936. In 1957, the Sweden's government took over the Institute of Consumer Information. In due time, the worldwide consumer associations, unions, and organizations were established, namely in Japan, France, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, UK, and USA. The then President of USA, Mr. John F. Kennedy, in his speech to the Congress while introducing a bill on consumers' rights, has outlined 4 rights of the consumers. This bill of consumers' right is now regarded as the Magna Carta of rights of the consumer. With respect to that, some of the acts or regulations related to consumers were enacted. Before 1950, the Indian Contract Act 1872, the Sales of Goods Act 1930, the Indian Penal Code 1860, the Drugs and Cosmetic Act of 1940, Viscount's Loans Act 1918, and the Agriculture Procedure Grading and Marketing Act of 1937. These are the acts which are enacted pre 1950. Post 1950, the Prevention of Good Adulteration Act 1954, the Plant Quarantine Regulation of Import into India Order 2003, the Insecticides Act, the Food Adulteration Act 1954, the Fruit Product Order 1955, the Essential Commodities Act of 1955, Monopolies and Restrictive Trade Practices Act 1969, the Meat Food Product Order 1973, the Milk and Milk Product Order 1992, the Standards on Weight and Measurement Act 1976, the Bureau of Indian Standards Act 1986, the Agmark Act 1937, the Drugs and Cosmetic Rules, the Textiles Regulations 1988, the Export Quality Control and Inspection Act 1963, the Consumer Protection Act of 1986. So, till 1986, in India, the consumer movement started since 1960, which traveled a long distance to reach to the middle class consumers in 1980. The making of Consumer Protection Act commenced in January 1986 with an All India seminar held in New Delhi. In this seminar, the representatives of the state governments, central ministers, and voluntary consumer organizations actively participated. Consequently, legislative attempts were commenced. But to pursue or to redress consumers' grievance through expensive machinery of legislation, through expensive machinery of litigation, it was realized to have statutes which deal exclusively and practically with the consumer's protection. Thus, the result of legislative activism resulted into incorporation of the Consumer Protection Act 1986. This act provides better incorporation of the Consumer Protection Act 1986 for that purpose to make provision for the establishment of consumer councils and other authorities for the settlement of consumers' disputes and for matters connected therewith. This is a brief with respect to the consumer movement. Thank you.